wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha laqitum fi'atan fasbutu. Oh, you who believe, when you have to meet a host of the army, an army of the enemy, fasbutu, be firm, stand firm, wazkurullaha kaseeran, and remember Allah. Continue zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the maximum. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, so that you may triumph. وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and obey Allah and His Messenger. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا, don't quarrel with each other. فَتَفْشَلُوا, then you will definitely, if there is difference of opinion and this, this dragging and of the proposals and pushing the proposal and going on, discussing these things and those things, if you continue those things, فَتَفْشَلُوا, you will lose the courage. You will lose the courage. وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ, and your power will depart. وَاصْبِرُوا, and have patience. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ. What happened at Uhud 1 year later? There was a dispute. The Prophet had ordered 50 archers not to leave that place, but 35 after them they disobeyed. Although they had, justified. And I also think we shall read, but we have already discussed it in Surah Al Imran. They thought that the Prophet only meant in case of defeat. Even if you saw all of us killed and that the birds are eating our flesh, even then you don't move from here. So they are good. Now this is an absolutely different circumstances. We have got the victory. Why should we stay here now? But the local commander insisted, nothing doing, don't move. So they defied the local commander. And the saying of the Prophet is, Man ata'ani faqad ata'a Allah, wa man asani faqad asa Allah, wa man ata'a amiri faqad ata'ani, wa man asa amiri faqad asani. Whosoever obeys me, he obeys Allah. Whosoever disobeys me, he disobeys Allah. Whosoever obeys a person appointed by me, an Amir, appointed by me, he obeys me actually. And whosoever disobeys a person, an Amir appointed by me, he disobeys me actually. So that was a disobedience, a dispute. So that happened. لَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِسْتَحْسُونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ حَتَّى إِذَا فَشِلْتُمْ وَتَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. The same two words appear in that ayah of Surah Al Imran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had fulfilled His promise, had given you the victory. But when you disputed about the matter and you وَعَصَيْتُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَرَاكُمْ تُحِبُّونَ, and disobeyed, then we turned the tables on you. It was a punishment. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha laqitum fi'atan fasbutu wazkurullaha kaseeran la'allakum tuflihun wa ati'u Allaha wa rasulahu. Now these are also general instructions for all time to come. Whenever you will again try to establish the deen of Allah, the same circumstances will come. You will have to be in a party, Hizbullah, disciplined party. If you don't keep the discipline of the party, you will be the losers. If Allah didn't condone even the mistake of the Sahaba, 35 disobeyed, and as a punishment 70 martyred. Even the Prophet injured, his teeth broken. Allah didn't condone your mistake. We have to give you the lesson so that you are careful in the future. So what will happen to us if we don't care about the discipline? What will happen? Nothing will happen. What happened to these Afghan Mujahideen? Because they were not under one leader, one commander, they lost the fight that they had victory over it. The turning point was Jalalabad, because all the groups tried to take the credit of the victory of Jalalabad. There was a chaos. They were defeated, and that was the turning point. So that is important. Discipline. Sam'u ta'ah, fasma'u wa ati'u. Listen and obey. The discipline of an army. There's not to reason why, there's but to do and die. Listen to your commanders, your Amir, and you have to act upon it. Only if it is against the deen of Allah, it is haram, then you are allowed to disobey. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha laqitum fi'atan fasbutu wazkurullaha kaseeran la'allakum tuflihun. Wa ati'ullaha wa rasulahu wa la tanaza'u fatafshalu wa tazhaba rihukum wasbiru innallaha ma'as sabirin. Verily, Allah is with those people who have patience and forbearance. That is, Allah's help is with them. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ خَرَجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ. And don't be like those who came out of their homes. Now this is referring to the Quraysh, army of Quraysh. مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ بَطَرًا, boastfully. We are very strong. رِيَاءَ النَّاسِ, showing off to the people. This is our strength. We have this armor. This is the number of camels we are taking with us. They will be our ration also. And we have 300 or 200 horsemen with us. وَيَسُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. But the purpose was to stop, to oppose that movement of Islam. Stop people from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ مُحِيطٌ. And Allah had already encircled what they were doing. They didn't know the unseen. What was the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They were going very much confident of their victory. Abu Jahl was saying, it is going to be Yawm al-Furqan. They were so sure of their victory. Wallahu bima ya'maluna muhit. Allah had already encircled whatever they were doing. وَإِزَّيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُمْ. And when Satan had made for them very beautiful and alluring and attractive what they were doing, وَقَالَ لَا غَالِبَ لَكُمُ الْيَوْمِ مِنَ النَّاسِ. And he said to them, whispered to them in their minds, الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ. لَا غَالِبَ لَكُمُ الْيَوْمِ. Today, nobody can beat you. Nobody can overcome you. Nobody can overpower you. Nobody can defeat you on this earth. وَإِنِّي جَارٌ لَكُمْ. And I am also with you. I am your neighbor. I am standing with you. فَلَمَّا تَرَاتِ الْفِيَتَانِ. And when the two armies saw each other, sighted each other, نَكَسَ عَلَىٰ عَقَبَيْهِ. He turned back on his heels. وَقَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنكُمْ. And he said, I have nothing to do with you. Inni ara ma la taron. I am seeing what you are not seeing. I am seeing the angels coming. How can I stand? You can't see them. I am seeing. Inni ara ma la taron. I told you, the angels and these jinns, they are somewhat closer to each other because angels were created out of light. And the jinns were created out of fire. These two things are very close to each other. Fire has a light in it. We humans, we have been created from the clay, the crust of this earth. So it's very inert. But you know, these two, both of them are invisible to us. And both of them, angels as well as jinns, can take on any form. A jinn can appear before me as a human being. An angel also can appear before me as a human being. Many a times, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam used to come to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in human shape. And he took the features of Hazrat Dahya Kalbi raziyallahu ta'ala, and he was a very handsome person from among the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So both have some proximity to each other. He saw that 1,000 strong army of angels is coming. Inni ara ma la taron. I am seeing what you are not seeing. Inni akhafullah, wallahu shadidul iqab. I fear Allah. So he ran away, and definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very severe in punishment.